Okay, so you guys, welcome again. Leah's going to keep letting people in for us, and I want to get started. So, I love when we get together on these business calls. I always love it when I have an opportunity to come spend some time with everybody because for me, if you're like me, I love hearing from different people. I know a lot of us get on separate Zooms together or one-on-one calls and Zooms, and it's really great to connect with other leadership because somebody might say one thing a little different that just rocks your world, right? And so, we've had a lot going on. There's a lot going on, and people are traveling, people are building businesses, we have new people enrolling. So, I wanted to take some time and really talk about the power of simplicity in this business. I want to toss around a little bit of staying consistent and basic. Because when you stay consistent and you stay basic, you will build a massive, massive business. Now, you guys, I made some notes because I don't want to forget anything because I was really stoked about this. I like this because of this product we have, the patch. When you think about the patch, a sticker that's the size of a quarter that you put on your body, simplicity. But then when you think of the vastness of it, it's kind of mind-blowing. Would you not agree? Right? It's just like, what? Like, some of us have been talking about this thing for 4 years and we are still going, what? Really? Does it really do that? So when you think about building your business, it's the same way. I want you to really think about keeping it simple, right? Keeping it simple. Now, we have a system, 333, right? That is about as simple as you can get. Now, for a lot of people, 333 makes a lot of sense to them. And I think that that is fantastic, right? But whether you're a 333 or a 111, and I'll go over it, okay, in case we have a new one on here, or you're a 30-30-30, whatever or whoever you are, you want to be consistent. That means you don't want to do it on Monday and Tuesday and not do anything on Wednesday. And then you do something on Thursday and you don't come back around again because you had a busy weekend. Right? So if you say consistent, so when we talk about the things that you can do, okay, that's one of them. And I am going to go into that a little deeper for you with that, okay? But I want you to remember you're literally talking about a product that nobody else in the world has. There's that vastness again. But the simplicity of what it does is huge, okay? So I want you to remember a couple of these things, and you might want to write these down because I don't want you overcomplicating this. I love these things. Why simplicity wins in network marketing or direct sales, okay? I wrote this down. People join people, not perfection. People join people, not perfection. And you guys, when I read that, I thought, wow, that is so true. Remember that you wanting to sound like somebody else is going to put you down maybe a road of you think you're not doing it well. So then you think you're not doing it well. And guess what gets conveyed to your person? Right? They can feel that energy. So I want you to know if all you say is, oh, this little patch stimulates the skin with light and activates your own personal stem cells. I mean, that's pretty basic, right? Pretty simple. I love this. Complexity doesn't duplicate. Clarity does. Complexity does not duplicate. Clarity does. I love that. I think it's huge. I think it's huge. Now, remember, I don't care if you're really brand new here today. You're a brand new person who's decided to share this, or you're at the top of the company, because we're all doing the same things every day. We might do them a little differently, But regardless of where you are, I don't know, when I looked and when I did some research today and I read some of these things, I thought, wow, that makes sense to me. Y'all never heard anybody say complexity doesn't duplicate, clarity does. Have you heard that before? No, right? How fantastic is that? You're hearing it now, and I love that. Our goal, make it so simple anyone feels like they can do it. Anybody can do it. Make it so simple that anybody feels like they can do it. But even if they're just thinking about their neighbor, if we get too heavy with them, they're thinking, oh my God, I can't walk across the street and tell my neighbor about this. I'm not saying they want to build a business. I'm just saying they want to walk across the street and tell their neighbor about it, right? So simplicity. You're not selling science. Oh my gosh, write this down. You're not selling science. You're starting conversations, you're sharing experiences, and you're creating curiosity. Does that make sense, you guys? Is like some light bulbs going off? Because I can't tell. Yeah? Okay, cool. You don't need to know everything about stem cells or light therapy. You know, I can't speak for anybody else on here, you know, but I know when I got started and Marcy said, get on everything. Just get on everything and listen. Anything, just everything. I thought to myself, how in God's green earth am I ever going to be able to talk about this? We've all sat in that seat, you guys. The development in which you share this product will change over time. But remember, people join people, not perfection. People aren't even buying a product. They're buying you. They're buying you because you've taken time to listen to them. You've taken time to be easy and simple with them. And you've probably shared either your own little personal experience or maybe that of someone else's. And that's really all you have to do here. Okay. Now, I love this when I read this. I personally never used this when I talked to somebody, but I can guarantee you I'm going to use it now. You don't need to know everything about stem cells or light therapy. You need to know how to say, this is a good one, you've got to see this patch. It's changing lives. So everyone's going, what do I message people? What should I send them? I don't know what to say. Oh my gosh, you're freaking out. I get it. But guess what? You don't have to do that. And I love this. You've got to see this patch. It's changing lives, excuse me. Don't you think someone's going to go, what are you talking about? What patch? Because they've used patches before. Don't you feel like everyone you know has probably put some sort of a patch on their body at some time? I think so. I don't know. Whether it's a nicotine patch or let's balance your hormones or let's lose weight or let's get rid of the pain or whatever it is, you're asking, have you heard of what, you know, you've got to see this, right? I love this. So there's 3 core basics here. Okay. If you do these 3 things consistently, you will grow, period, the end. Have y'all ever known me to take so many notes in my life? No, but I'm really proud of myself. So this is where the 3-3-3 or the 1-1-1 or the 30-30-30 comes in. Okay. You have to have daily reach outs. You have to reach out to people, new people that you've never reached out to before. You have to. It's like a must. You can't help people if you don't reach out to them. Right? And these people can come from anywhere. Whether you're sending them a text message from your phone, right? You know, you guys, when I go to my contacts in my phone, now we all have people in our phone that we are clueless. When I look at all the A's, I'm going, who are these people? Like, I have A1 appliance in here. But you know what? I could call A1 appliance and talk to the receptionist and go, I know you don't remember me. I used to call y'all all the time because my appliance was breaking. And it dawned on me, I should probably give you a call and ask you this question. What's the worst thing they're going to say? No? You've lost your mind? How many people are in your A's? Go through each one. No profiling. You can't say you don't like them. You can't say you don't talk to them anymore. And even if you don't talk to them anymore and you send them a message, they're going to get curious. Well, I wonder what she's doing. I can't believe she messaged me. We haven't talked in 15 years. There's plenty of people for you to reach out to. Okay. So I want you to reach out to 3 new people. I'm just using the 3. You do you. Okay. The other 3 things that you want to do is you want to follow up with the people that you've already touched. Okay. I like to call it a touch point. And we're doing all this. If you reach up to your senior directors and above, they're going to tell you this is exactly what we do. Use third-party tools to talk to these people when you're following up, even when you're reaching out and they go, what are you talking about? What is this? Well, if they say, what is this? You can send them the health tracker and say, oh my God, read this right there. There's the health tracker. Or you can send them the first video from the biz site. If you don't know where that is, please get with the person that enrolled you or your senior director or above, and they can guide you there. Okay. But we have tools, videos, stories, testimonials, events, right? Last night was a perfect example of an event, Dr. Stacy's doctor's call, right? Use these to follow up with your people. But then you also have the opportunity to invite. And for me, number 2 and number 3 go hand in hand. If I'm following up with somebody, depending on my past conversations with them, it might be an extraordinary opportunity for me to go, you know what? I don't know what I'm thinking. We're having a so-and-so on our call tonight. You want to listen in? You might get a lot out of it. Well, what time is it? It's at 8. Oh, I can do that. Well, let me send you the link. And then what happens when you do that? Because we are a notebook fanatical team, you write their name down in your notebook and you say, invite Dr. Stacy's call, or however you want to reference it, however you want to organize, and put the date of the call that you're inviting them to. Because maybe they couldn't come, maybe at the last minute, and you get to text them the next day and go, hey, what'd you think? And go, oh, I forgot. No worries. Can I send you the recording? Is that okay? Ask permission. And then you send it. And every time you send them something, you're opening that revolving door to let them know you're coming back in. You're not going anywhere. Do not bug them to death. But you're just creating a revolving door so they know that you haven't forgotten about them. Okay. Another good verbiage that I found in some of my research today was, have you heard of the stem cell patch everyone's talking about? Have you heard about that patch everyone's talking about? Like, what happens if you're sitting across somebody with coffee and you go, have you heard this patch that they're talking about? Have you heard about it? Because personally, I just started wearing it, but I'm just kind of curious. Have you heard of it? Because I'm new. Like, they don't have to know a whole lot about you. You know, if Leah signs me up and I'm brand new, I don't have to go shout from the mountaintops that I am repping this new flight technology. If I'm talking to somebody and they go, well, I want more information. Well, I'm brand new. I know nothing. This is just one of the things you can do. I can say, well, can I hook you up with the girl that got me started because I'm clueless? Well, of course, Leah's going to come in and help me. I'm going to say, hey, let me put you in a 3-way message thread with the girl that got me started. And then let it unfold. You're going to learn from I'm going to learn from Leah and how she talks to this person. I'm going to learn how to enroll somebody and maybe what pack to offer them based on the conversation that I'm watching her and my friend having. And then we're going to get her started. And I'm going to say to my friend, you know what? I think I'm going to start sharing this. You're excited about starting it, and I think I'm going to start sharing it. Thank you for trying it out. And then you move on to the next person. Does that make sense, you guys? Yeah? Good. Okay, I love that. When you follow up with value, you guys, with success stories or testimonies, or you invite them to that third party, like the health hubs, launch calls, you don't have to be the expert. You know, a lot of the SPD leaders and PDs have been traveling around, and we've had the opportunity to speak to many, many groups. And one thing that I hear many, many leaders talk about is don't be the expert. Don't try to be the expert. Let somebody else be it. And understand and know that when you do this, it does not imply or say anything about you or who you are. It doesn't say, oh, she doesn't know anything, or why can't she get it together, or whatever. All the things you might tell yourself it might mean. What it means is you're a very smart person who knows the value of third-party validation and using somebody else as the expert, whether they know anything or not. To be honest with you, right? It's just turning them over to somebody else and letting them go, yeah, this happened to me, and this is the experience of my mother, and this is what I'm seeing across the board when I'm sharing it with people. It's just it's absolutely extraordinary. It takes you out of it, and that is brilliant. Okay, I always want you to remember how brilliant that is. When you're having conversations with people about the product, let's go into a little bit something else, because we know that you can invite them to health hubs, launch calls, help them see themselves in this story. Okay, so like we're referencing them with testimonials. We're sharing testimonials. Reference them in their own. Let's just say you're talking to somebody who's got crazy chronic back pain. Ask them, can you just imagine when you don't have that anymore? That is going to be so incredible. What would be the first thing that you would do if you didn't have that chronic pain? Put them in the story. Put them in their future so they can actually see it. They're going to go yes. They might not say yes immediately, but you've really given them some great things to think about. Because this just downloaded in my brain, respectfully. How many physicians put their patients in a visual of their future when they start taking their pharmaceutical? I've never had one. Have you? I don't know. I can't answer that for you. Maybe you have. So put them in the story, put them in their story, let them visualize where they can go. I love that. I really did love that. And remember, people don't buy info. They don't buy information. They buy belief. And that kind of goes back to, they don't buy a product, they're buying you. So if you're not believing, if you don't have the belief in LifeWave or the belief in the product, then let's help you get there, because you would not be here right now if you didn't think it worked. And a lot of times when you're lacking belief in that area, it could be very well that you're very concerned about what others might be thinking about you either using this light technology or whether the fact, excuse me, that you're speaking about it. So I encourage you to not worry about those things. And I want to assure you that it's not about you. When somebody is just not ready. So don't let anyone decide your future, right? You don't want anyone to decide your future. So don't let the thought of them being like, they're going to think this is really weird. So what? Look at all the other weird things you've done in your life that you didn't care about or you thought about afterwards, right? You're going to think about this one afterwards and you're going to say to yourself, I did good. I helped them be better. And they're living an incredible life because I opened my mouth, right? So remember that. I love that. Just remember that. This is a one-of-a-kind product. We kind of talked about that earlier. You guys have something in your hands that nobody else on this planet will ever have. I want you to find power in that. That's power. That's influence. So when you think, oh, I don't know many people, I don't have much influence, you guys, holding this little thing in your hand, where's my camera? You guys holding this little cute patch in your hand gives you more power, right? It's like when Superman, and I'm not referencing Gary, let me say Spider-Man, puts on his suit. Power. Think about it that way. Think about it that way. When you put your patches on in the morning, it's like putting your cape on or your mask on and you're going out and you're going to make it happen. Okay. This is a one-of-a-kind product. No pills, no injections. No one else has it. That's your edge. But remember, you don't have to lead with the science. I want you to write that down. Please write that down again. Don't lead with the science. Have you heard this about this patch everyone's talking about? No, what does it do? Well, apparently it activates your stem cells. I just got the thing. I'm wearing it. And to be honest with you, I slept the best I've slept in about 30 years last night. If that happened to you, that's what you're going to say, right? Or my brain fog is gone. You know, Leah and myself and Susan, who's on here, and Charlene, we did the Longevity Expo in West Palm Beach this past weekend together, and it was incredible. And I talked to one of the women that I patched, and I checked in on her, and she said, well, you know what, to be honest with you, I slept amazing. And the weirder thing is I had a friend come up to me the next day and said I was glowing. One patch, one time. I have a call with her tomorrow. Right? You never know. 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 When you use simple positioning, meaning when you use simple words that people can understand, they're really going to trust the process. But I want you to remember a huge part of that process is listening. Y'all have heard me say it 1,000 times, and I'll say it another 1,000, maybe another 1,000,000. We have to stop selling and we have to start listening. Right? You have to stop selling and you have to start listening. And when you're listening, whether it's across from them with a cup of coffee or on the phone, please take notes. Please write down what they have going on, everything. Everything. Maybe they start talking about their husband. Maybe they start talking about their sister. I mean, make columns. I mean, do whatever you have to do. Write it down, because you know what that says to them when you regurgitate back? That you care. It was important and you listened. And that's what they're buying. That's what they're buying. And then you put the patch on them, and then we all know what happens from there. And when you have that happen, it's extraordinary. Okay? It's extraordinary. So your daily method of operation, okay? This goes back into what you're going to do daily. Now, we have many walks of life on here. We have many different age groups, right? We have younger people who have kids at home. We have people who have full-time jobs. We have people who have full-time jobs and kids at home, and sometimes grandkids at home. It's a lot. I know this, but I also know if you develop your rhythm, if you pick that person, what am I? Am I 111? Am I 333? Am I a 10-10-10? Y'all, I'm just going to be honest with you. If you get organized, and organization doesn't mean craziness. If you figure out what you want to send to people that day, and you have your list, because you're you're always adding to your list, you can send out 30 messages in 20 minutes max, because a lot of them might be based on other conversations. So you tweak it a little bit, right? You make it real, you make it you. But I want you to know that anyone can do this. The busy mom, the busy me, what professionals. You just got to find your pocket of time. And when you have dictated what that pocket of time is for you, then you give 1,000% in that time. That 1,000%, if it's 30 minutes that you get that day, then the whole world shuts off around you for 30 minutes. And if you do that, you will have a very successful business, because what will happen is your business will start to grow. And before long, what you'll find is that you'll possibly, if you want, leave that other job, or hire people to do things for you that you would normally do, that frees you up to go either do you or help more people. That's personal preference, okay? So before I answer any of y'all's questions, I just want to wrap this up, okay? This is the only product of its kind in the world. It doesn't need hype. It needs humans. I love that. It doesn't need hype. It needs humans who are consistent, curious, and committed. Consistent, curious, and committed. Your job, or our jobs, are not to convince people. We are not in the convincing business. Please stop doing it if you are doing it. I know that feeling when somebody says something askew about Lifeway or a patch, you want to pull the sword out of your pocket and you just want to go to war for them and protect it, because you know how amazing we are over here. I get that. And it's honorable. And I love that. But when somebody says, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard, I'm okay. I just want to share information with you. It's no big deal. Because when you develop that, you will help so many more people. And what will happen is the people that you're supposed to be helping are going to start gravitating to you, because of the confidence that you start building within that mindset, the belief that you start building within that mindset. Right? You know what you have. They don't know what you have. You know what you know. You know what you know. So I want you to connect and care and keep showing up every day, and especially the days that you don't want to. And I'm going to be honest with you. You know how many days I roll out of bed and I'm like, oh God, not today. I just don't want to do it today. I love what I do. Y'all all know we love what we do. We're human, right? We're just humans. But those are the days you have to do it the most. Those are the days that you have to do it the most. So what I share with you is this. Master the basics. I think we've had some great basics here, some great basic verbiage, ideas. Stay in motion. Be duplicatable. Be duplicatable. And this, you guys, these things that we've gone over right now, this is how you build a massive organization. This is how we build the massive organizations, right? We have systems. We have the 333. We have the charts. Those are tools. Remember, we talked about that in the beginning. Use those to your advantage, because when you use those, that's what makes it simple. When you write things down, that's what makes it simple. When you try to leave everything up here, it gets boggled. It gets boggled up. And all of a sudden, it doesn't feel as simple. It starts feeling daunting and heavy and, oh, nobody wants this. And, oh, do me a favor when you start feeling like that way. You're human. Go do something that makes you feel happy. Listen to something. Go outside and take a walk. Shower. I don't care what you do. Just remove yourself from where you are in that moment and go change that mindset. Whatever that is for you. I don't know. Go make a cup of coffee. Sit down and read a couple of pages in your book. Stare at the wall. I don't know what that is for you. Maybe you do need a little quiet time. You know, I'm giving you permission to do those things. I'm also giving you permission to not answer the phone every time it rings because you think it's important for another reason. Now, all of you know, we all have families. We love our children. I love my children. We all love our children. They're amazing. We have the best kids in the world, right? We all think we have the most amazing kids that have ever walked the face of the earth. I was sitting here earlier. I had been trying to do a video all day long. All day. And who calls me right when I'm finished? My son, Chase. Do y'all know what I did? I just cut him off. He's not dying. He's not bleeding. I knew if he needed one of us, he was going to call Tommy next. Right? He was going to get us. And of course, all he wanted to talk about was his sister. Right? So, do you see what I'm saying? Like, when you find the time of the day that you want to work your business based on what you have going on today, maybe it's broken up in sections. I don't know. But when you plan that time out on your calendar, do me a favor and shut the world out. Do your thing and then go back to the world. Watch what happens in your business, right? Watch what happens in your business. All right, all of you guys have the ability to unmute. We have a lot of time, and I'm sure people are going to ask some questions that's going to take us down some great paths. So who wants to go first?
Laura, I'll go first.
Okay, Leslie, how are you? Oh, I can't hear you.
Muted.
Okay, there you go. You're good now.
I'll have you on a stand. Okay. Firstly, this is recorded, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
That's awesome because you said a golden mouthful and I couldn't get it all written down.
That's okay. It is recorded.
Okay, great. There was a couple. Let me get to the recording and then I think I'll find my answer.
Okay, well, if not, let us know. Or just reach out. I'm happy to answer anything.
Okay, but here's the question. I can do all of these things.
Yes, you can.
Bottom line, how much is it? And I tell them with all the circumventing that I can without going, it's $100, without blurting out like that. They'll go, I just can't afford that. I just can't afford that. This is too expensive. So that has stopped me in my tracks.
Okay. Can I ask you a question? And I want you to answer it honestly, because when we answer it honestly, I think we're going to help a lot of people here, because there's not a wrong or right answer. It's just an honest answer. Do you think the product is expensive?
At the outset, I do. And
Okay.
only because for me, I was willing to do it, but there are some people that just can't do it because it really is an expense they can't afford even out the gate for one time, even if they do preferred customer or preferred customer plus. And I don't know how you could make it less expensive.
Okay. All right. So 2 things here, and thank you for being honest. You guys, when we think it's expensive, we're going to attract people who think it's expensive. It's the way it works. It's science, right? David has shown us how science works, and it's like numbers don't lie, science doesn't lie. It kind of gets back to that human thing. So sometimes when people say, why is it so expensive? And I'll say, what compared to what? Compared to what? Well, first of all, they don't even know what to say. Not that I'm trying to sandbag them. They just don't know what to say. And then I'll say, well, if I may, a cost of a stem cell injection could be anywhere from $7,000 to $35,000 for one injection. You're getting stem cell activation for $3 a day. Now, here are your options to buy. You can get one for $150, or you can get 3 for $295. Wholesale. And if you want to mix and match, I can do that too. I can customize for you. I can really bring you value. Show them the value. Don't just wave a cost in front of their face. Know that they can buy one for $150 or 3 for $295. Now, you guys, if I said that to you, which one would you gravitate to? Not the 150, right? The 3. Rhonda's right.
No, I would say, tell me something else. Give me another option.
There are no other options. And that's where, Leslie, it gets into, you know what you know what you know. Right? Y'all have heard Dr. Stacy, myself, some of the other leaders, Leah, all of our businesses look different. But let me remind you, and those who are new, some things that we adopted in the very beginning that we knew, number one, was going to help the client. That's always the number one. Value and help. Service. Because if we knew we did that, we were doing our business service. You have to have both. You're here to build a business. Okay, this is the business call, right? Preferred customer and preferred customer plus, if you will, is not in our vocabularies. If my clients are not willing to buy retail or wholesale, their health, in my opinion, is not their priority, and it's not their time yet. That's it. That's it. Now, do I display that like that? I'm telling you, period, the end. That is what I do. But so my conversations that I'm having with my client, that's all I present to them. That's all I present to them. I never offered PC. I just never have. And I think I have one that I actually signed up because I couldn't get her off the phone, right? So I bent. But other than that, they only know what you know. And I don't want you to feel like you're pulling the wool over their eyes. In our opinion, preferred customers does not bring the client value, but it also doesn't bring them the product that they need to get the result that they want. And my job, I feel, is to make sure that I get them where they want to go. So, Leslie, maybe what we need to do, and maybe other people on here need to do, is have that defining moment. These are our options. These are our options. This is what we're doing. Right? So try that. Work on your belief. This product is not expensive. Okay. And if we have time, I'll share a little story with y'all at the end to kind of maybe that I had happened to me when I first started with LifeWave. That was kind of really kept me in this place. So Leslie, stay tuned for that. Next question.
I have a question.
Who is it?
Judy.
Oh, hi, Judy.
I have like 3 different people that started the products and they were okay with it. And then after a while, it's like, well, I don't think they really have changed anything. I still have some back pain. I'm still getting headaches, and I just don't know. And some of them aren't taking the X39 now. They tried other things, but I just don't know how to get them motivated again and to give it a second chance.
Okay, great question. I love that. So if they haven't patched in a while, I would just call and check in with them.
I did that today with one person.
And said something like, you know, I was thinking about you. How's your back pain? Oh my God, it's horrific. It hasn't gotten any better. No. You know, I really think we should give the light technology or the patches or whatever you would say another chance, because I really have been thinking about you, and I wanted to ask you a few questions. Okay. And these questions are questions that we need to be asking them as they're patching as well. My guess is, with what you shared with me, Judy, is this: when they call you and say, you know what, I don't think I want to do this anymore. My back's killing me still, my head's hurting. And I go, okay, we need to look at some things. Because many of you have heard me say, you're not going to immediately start patching in the Red Sea part, right?
Right.
Everybody's different. So when somebody says, you know, I don't think they're working, I go, well, let's go over some things. How much water are you drinking? Oh God, I hate water. Maybe a glass, maybe 2, right? So they just told me that they think they weigh 32 pounds, right? Remember, 1 ounce of water, you're half your body weight in ounces a day. So if you weigh 100 on the scale, 50 ounces of water. If you drink coffee, probably a good 62 ounces of water, right? Every glass of wine you have, right? That's one question to ask them. Then I would say, how long have you been patching again? Oh, 4 months. How old are you? 75. Oh my gosh. You're just getting started. We got to keep going. What do you remember? We talked about this 1 month's use for every decade of life. And I remember saying to you, please don't quit before your miracle. I'm begging you. I don't beg often, but I'm begging you. Beg them. Beg them.
Right.
And if they still throw their hands up, respect where they are. There could be something else going on. They're going to do what they want to do. But sometimes when they feel like they have somebody in their corner, they're more apt to go, because they could have somebody in their house going, oh my God, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I told you it wasn't going to work.
Well, that is the case in one household.
Okay.
Money,
right. So you be their cheerleader. Write a note in your follow-up book. I need to check on her a little bit more. I need to see how she's doing.
Okay.
I need to just say hello. I need to be her cheerleader. Susan Gizzard, send her a testimonial.
I have done that, but
Good.
she just sort of backs off from that and says, I don't think that'll work or whatever. So I don't know.
Well, and you know what? Yeah, just be her cheerleader, because really quickly, you know, Stacy had the girl Rose, who was in her 70s, and for the last forevers in her entire life, I think this poor woman has used a walker, like from her 50s on. Couldn't walk without it. And every month she called Stacy, they're not working. I don't feel any better. It's not helping. Stacy begged her for 5 months. Please, Rose, don't stop. I'm begging you. I'm just asking you. Just please continue. Literally, she was begged her. On that 6th month, long story short, Rose literally walked down to the lake, no walker, and she didn't realize she didn't even take her walker till she came back up to the house.
Wow. Wow.
And then, you know, what Stacy said to her, oh, could you imagine if you stopped at 3 months? And she goes, oh my gosh, I never thought about that. Right? Because everyone's living in the moment, as we should, right? But sometimes we forget. So hang with them. Bring up scenarios that might help them. Well, I'm not drinking any water. Well, that's probably why then. You're getting the headaches. Your body is trying to detox. You're not providing it any liquid. It can't get the toxins out. I'm sorry to inform you. It sounds like you're a little toxic. Like, I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
Right? So does that help, Judy?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
You're
It's
very welcome.
encouraging.
You're very welcome. Who else? Anybody? Anything?
Yes. When are the electrolytes coming out? Is that in June or July?
Cellular Jives is coming out in June. Be prepared.
Yay.
Everybody get ready. It's on its way.
That they are. I love that. That's
My
delicious.
husband does too.
Yes.
He asks me every day, where is it? Where is it? I go, it's coming. It's coming. Anything else, everyone? Anyone? Thank you, Lisa.
Yes. Thank you for your words.
You're
I
very welcome.
wrote it all down.
Good, 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 good. I love that. Okay, hold on, let's see. Any questions in the chat? Let's look.
Laura, it looks like Esther has a question, has her hand raised.
Esther, what can I do for you? Thank you, Rhonda.
I keep getting the question of how much electrolytes. You just mentioned how much water, but
Mhm.
is there a certain amount of electrolytes they should consume a day?
So, you know, for a lot of my, that is such a great question. A lot of my clients don't get any. And so I want to make it very easy for them in the beginning, kind of want to move them into them. So I suggest that they buy Celtic salt, either from Whole Foods, Sprouts, Amazon. Whether they get the fine or whether they get the granule, it's personal preference. It doesn't matter. All they need to do is either put a little bit of it in their water to taste, like they don't have to get crazy with it, or put it on their tongue and let it dissolve and then drink a glass of water. I think for a lot of people, sprinkling some in their water, maybe squeezing some lemon, okay, is huge. Because haven't you guys heard many of your clients say, I don't drink water because I feel like I'm living in the bathroom? I mean, if we've heard it once, we've heard it a million times. The reason they're living in the bathroom is not because they're drinking too much water. More than likely, it's because the water they are drinking is not being absorbed. So if we have some Celtic salt or a good electrolyte powder, okay, that has good real salt in it, not bogus, real salts, okay, that are healthy for the body. Like, we all remember, these people and many of us have been told forever, salt's bad. It does this, it does that. Well, you have those things because you're not taking in salt, right? They've cleared it out. Salt and a little bit of lemon in your water is providing what I like to say a transport system to take the water directly to the cells. So instead of a person just having that water run through them, we're creating a transit system, if you will, for the cell to get that water immediately. So what happens now, their water drinking becomes more efficient and the body is absorbing it. That's not to say they're not going to have to go to use the restroom. They will eventually, thank God, right? Because any toxins they have We want them to rid it from the body. Does that make sense, Esther?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else? Oh my God, I've had so much fun here tonight.
Laura,
And fresh jalapeno slices. Yow. Okay.
Laura,
Yes.
I have a client who has rods in his back and
Huh?
he's using the X39 and the Eon. He said before he used the patches, he had no pain. Now he has pain and I
Okay.
don't know what to tell him.
Okay. So that can be very normal, right? They're not used to that. So as the body is starting, you know, we're raising the GHK, right? The GHK-Cu that creates healing. Now we're activating the stem cells. Now we're really getting into it. You know, the Holy Grail. There is a process that the body has to go through for complete healing to take place. So that is very, very normal. Okay, very normal. I'll tell you, I just, a girl that lives downstairs in my building, she said, she goes, Laura, I've been patching for a couple days. My blood pressure has been great. And all of a sudden it's gone up. I go, very normal. Your body's detoxing. Our body goes through things and balancing that can cause that blood pressure to come up. Is it going to cause an issue? No. All of our blood pressures are functioning throughout the day based on what's happening in our days. Do you not think when you slam on your brakes to stop hitting the car in front of you, your blood pressure doesn't just go woo? Of course it does, but then it balances back out. That's its job. So this technology is designed to bring the body back in balance. So there's got to be a little bit of a process. Right? So tell him to keep going. Make sure he's drinking plenty of water with electrolytes or Celtic salt or something of this nature.
Okay.
Okay. If it's unbearable, tell him to wear it every other day. Let his body work up into it.
Oh,
Yep. Don't cut the patch in half. Oh my God. I heard that and I thought, no, don't ever do that. Please, people, don't, no. And
But
even if you take half the sticker off the patch and put it on the skin, you're getting the full effect. That doesn't work either. Judy, what can I do for you, love?
Oh, I just had another question about that. I have a friend.
Okay.
Is it another Janice?
yes.
Okay.
Oh, no, it's another Judy. Hold 1 second, Judy. Judy Stanbridge, go ahead, sweetie.
I just wanted to ask about the follow-up that you were talking about earlier. I have trouble with the logistics of it. What I usually do is put the follow-up out on my phone as an appointment. And I mean, even if they haven't agreed to appointment, I put call so-and-so. But you were talking about writing notes on the back of the pages that what their situation is moment. So how do you work the logistics of that, Laura?
So if I've talked to somebody, I've had a touch point with somebody about the patches, and I've actually had a conversation with them, and they've just said, you know what, I just need to think about this. Right. So I let 2 or 3 weeks go by and I'd go, hey, Judy, it's Laura. You know, I was thinking about you today. You know, how's your shoulder doing? Are you any better? Can I help you with anything? Or I'll say something that I'll say, you know, Judy, I had a client on last night who had the same thing that you had. I hope you don't mind that I send the recording to you. Take a listen if you can. That's a follow-up.
Okay, but
When you say take a listen if you can, there's nothing wrong with saying, you know what, I'll check back in with you in the next few days to see how you are.
I guess my questions is how you keep that. What do you do with that sheet of paper you have written? Do you keep alphabetical? How do you do the logistics of that?
The logistics is I have about 6 notebooks behind me with people. Rhonda's holding hers up. I'm sure everybody has a, Beth, I know, has a notebook. Dr. Debbie, Crystal, we all have notebooks.
Right, I have one, but what I'm saying is that loose piece of that, even if it's in a notebook and you have other people's names near it, how do you have a sheet of paper for that individual person that you put in an alphabetized notebook or something?
No, I can only wish that I was that organized, Judy. As many of us on here, we would probably say we're very chaotic, but for whatever the reason, it works.
Okay,
So what I would say to you is find your method. Is it, like for me, I'm page turning. And I'll be, oh my God, I need to call her. Like,
right.
you know what I'm saying? I know Kimberly's super organized. Like she has spreadsheets with all of her people on it, right? Find your way.
Okay,
Do you?
okay,
Because yeah, I couldn't do it Kimberly's way if somebody gave me $1 million, right? Because that works for Kimberly,
right.
right?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Judy, you had a question. And let's see what time it is. We have 2 minutes.
Okay, I have a friend I'm going to call tomorrow, and I think it was good that we sort of talked tonight, but she had fallen and broken her hip and they put rods in it. And then 2-3 weeks ago, they redid her whole hip and put a whole new hip joint in there.
Love it.
But a few months ago, when she did her first accident, she said that the X39 she couldn't wear because it hurt her more where the rods were. So I said, try to put it in a different spot. She's been at home a lot, so I haven't been able to really talk to her, but I want to see how she's doing tomorrow with her new operation that she's had. But is there something that you would recommend?
Yes.
I told her the X49 would be helpful too, because she has osteoporosis going on. She's had breast cancer as well. And I told her X39, X49, Eon, and then down the road, maybe glutathione. But
Okay. How long has she been patching?
3 months altogether.
Okay. So she's had a lot going on in her life,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And so that says to me she's probably extremely toxic. Okay. She's been on a lot of medications. I'm not sure how she healed her, how she went about her breast cancer. Now she has a hip replacement. What I can share with you here is X39 and Eon for her right now is probably enough, okay, to be consistent. And you're right, down the road, after we can get her really kind of in the habit thereof, yes, glutathione for sure, X49, wonderful. The only other thing that I can share with you briefly is I found out about the patches 2 weeks before I had a total right hip done. I was an athlete growing up. I just beat it up. I had to get it out. I started patching 2 weeks prior. I came home immediately that day, started patching. Now my detox game was on. So you've heard the story, maybe they all went on the body. Like that was just me. I can tell you my healing was 40% faster. I
Wow.
had no pain and I had absolutely zero bruising. And the doctors warned my husband that this was not going to be a pretty experience for him. And I was fine. So what you can do is, why don't you try moving the patches, even though we all know on here they're not site specific, but that's going to make her feel better. Make sure she's drinking enough water. There's that
Right.
water again. And let her know that one of your partners had the exact same surgery. And because she used these patches, she healed 40% faster. And as a matter of fact, her surgeon was absolutely blown away. He'd never seen anything like it in 30 years. That's a fact.
Okay, I'll definitely tell her that.
And if you want my before and after pictures, you're going to have to message me on Facebook and I'll be happy to send them to you.
Well, I think just saying that to her, she's very upbeat, but
Good.
it's she's been a professor for so many years, and she just retired and then tripped over a garden hose, and that started her first accident.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, I thank you so much for your input tonight.
You're welcome. You guys, thank you for showing up and being here with me. You know, we've got 78 people on here, and that says a lot about you. And so I thank you. And we've got amazing things coming. I just want you to always remember, regardless of all the amazing things David Schmidt puts out there and this company does, it's the simplicity and the consistency that is going to build you a massive business, which only means that you've helped a lot of people. And I think that's the coolest part about this. So have a great remaining of the week. Thank you again for coming, and I'll see you guys real soon.
Thanks, Laura.
You're welcome.